Hey guys, Dan the RBRT guy back with you again. Hey, thanks so much for coming back this week and checking out the new video. So this week, guys, we got something kind of cool for you. A couple of weeks ago, I went out to Hampton, Virginia and spent the day with Mac Tools distributor Brian Wendl. And what Brian did was he rented the Hampton Coliseum for the day and had a customer appreciation event. He had the scan tool guys there. He asked the RBRT guy to show up and demo RBRT for his customers. It was a really great day. Got to see an old friend, Ron Hambrick from the scan tool division. We're old friends. So it was a really, really fun day with Brian's customers. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you at the end of it.
Right, so you can use them on everyday stuff. If you're not grabbing them first to take out good fasteners, you're doing a misservice. You should use them all the time because it will prevent you from stripping them, but it will also take out ones that are rounded out into the 90% range. My hex design is absolutely different than everybody else's. My pressure gets pulled center, inward, so I don't strip the fastener to begin with. It's impossible to strip a fastener with this like you do a normal one. It doesn't push to the corners. Grabs this thing and pulls the pressure inward. So as well as it works in taking out rounded ones, it prevents them from rounding even better. All of them have their own challenges, right? Oh, yeah. How soft's the metal? What's it made out of? Do we have rust? Do we have corrosion? Is it frozen in there? Is it over torqued? But the vast majority of the time, I can get them out where nobody else can get them out. All of the bits are to replace what I call conventional tools. Mm-hmm. They will stop you from stripping, but they will take out damaged. Why would you use anything else, right? I have the best broken bolt extractor, and then I have these little beauties right here. These are our new socket extractors. These are brand new. Think design when it comes to removing 100% rounded bolt or a stud. Anything you can smash those down on, it'll bite in 6 different spots, and you can tighten with it just as effectively as you can loosen with it, totally bidirectional. So once it's locked in, if you have to work a bolt back and forth because it's rusty, you can. Or you can remove the bolt, leave it in the tool. If you don't have a replacement bolt, you can put the bolt back in, tighten it down. There's a threaded little sleeve that goes into the back to push the broken piece out or to pop it off of the fastener if you have to reuse it. Very, very neat idea. To be honest though, it's about functionality, right? It's about what can I use this tool on? How many different things can I, with a hex, it's only a hex, right? With a Torx, it's a Torx. But with that, I can bang it down on 100% rounded bolts. I can bang it down on a stud. If I come across the cap screw where the center's so chewed up, nothing's getting it out, I can attack it from the outside. I can get it out from bashing it down on the outside and gripping down on it. Those are just another level, man, of awesome because there's so many uses. It's great when you can buy a tool and use it on five different things and it works good every time. You know what I mean? And then for rounded lug nuts, ours are absolutely the best. Better than a twist socket. Bites far better than a twist socket. With a twist socket, if it does bite, and they do a good job when they do grip, but when they don't, they shred and they chew, and it makes it worse. And it ruins the tool because as soon as you spin it with an impact gun, it's done. It just rounds the center of it out. Because ours is bidirectional and it bites in 6 different spots cleanly the same way, and the pressure's constant all the way through the torque curve, it doesn't let go, it doesn't chew once it's banged down on there. So like if you go to my YouTube channel, Dan the RBRT guy, I've got a video of me in a wheel where I rounded lug nuts, both the aluminum capped ones and a hollow one, right? So the aluminum capped ones, the pusher just pushes it right out, no problem. The hollow one though, the pusher will go through the middle. You just screw it onto the stud and let the stud be the pusher, the resistance. and it pops it right back out. Then you can just, it's a really great video. I encourage you to go check it out. I have many videos that show all of this stuff in action. Dan, the RBRT guy. And so the 1/2-inch drive ones are wonderful for lug nuts and locks, and the smaller ones, just about everything else. From the 1/4 to the 1/2-inch, we've got 4mm to 25mm and 3/16 to 1 inch. So you've got any size that'll take care of business. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of standard and metric, because incremental sizing will matter on stuff that's 100% round, right? Might not be this size, but this next one up is perfect. So it pays to have a little bit of both.
Okay guys, I'm just gonna break in right there and do a little bit of a demonstration and do a little bit of an explanation. So a couple of weeks ago, we did a video on our socket extractors, and I thought it was a pretty solid video, but a comment was made that was pretty interesting. A guy said that because I left my bolts sticking up out of the vise a little bit, that it was easier for my tool to grab a hold of. And he actually called me fake news, which was pretty funny. And I'm not about calling guys out, and that's not what this is about. You know, and then one of my viewers actually came to my defense, which I really appreciate. It's always good to see, you know, some guy say, you know, it really doesn't matter because of the way that socket grabs onto the head of that bolt. And he's absolutely right. But for the sake of argument, and to try to remain transparent, because, you know, guys, I really do my best to show you what RBRT is all about as accurately as I can, and it's all real in the studio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take that same kind of bolt. As you can tell as I spin that around, this bad boy's machine rounded 100%, and we're going to go ahead and I just want you to make sure it's flush in the bottom of the vise, right, like a real world situation would be with a bolt. I kind of get where that guy was coming from, but you know, we're going to go ahead and just show you that that in fact really doesn't matter. But for the sake of argument, I love the comments. I want to read what you guys have to say. For sure, comment, and if you see something and you want to question it, tell me and I'll come back and I'll reshoot it. We'll work it out, but I appreciate my viewers. Okay, so as you can see in the vise, that bad boy is bottomed out. We're going to go ahead and take the socket extractor, pound it on there. You can hear it bottomed out on the vise. So beast mode, let's snap the head of this off. All right, so it's spinning up in the vise, as you can see. I'm just gonna reposition. I'm not gonna do anything but make sure it's down in the vise. Tighten it down a little further. I thought that was tight enough, but okay. They're strong bolts, they really are. I want you to see the realism that is what this is all about. So let's see if we can snap it this time. Easy, and there it is. Boom, broke it right off. And then we're going to go ahead and use that F.O.R rod to push that right out the end. I love this F.O.R system that we've designed. It really does work very well. And just pops it right on out, just like that. And you can see the contact all the way down. The lines go all the way down the head of the bolt. This bad boy, when they lock in tight. You hear me say it all the time. So now I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration that you haven't seen yet. And this is kind of cool. I came up with this at Tool Fair when we were down in Orlando with the distributors. So this is a regular Phillips head button head screw. And you know, guys, when these things round out, they are super hard to get out. I don't care if it's in plastic in your kids' toys or it's in metal or whatever. When you strip these out, they're difficult, right? So we're going to go ahead and drop it into the vise. And I want you to just make sure you see that it is in fact flush, like a real world situation. And we're going to grab our 1/4 inch drive socket extractor, and I'm going to show you how well these bite in by attacking it from the outside edges. So let's see if we can get this bad boy to bite in. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my 1/4 inch ratchet, and watch this, guys. This is amazing. And I'll just snap the head of that right off. And you know, it really doesn't need a whole lot to anchor itself in there, but then we'll go ahead and take the forcing rod, and I can probably just hold this in my hands while I push this out. It won't take a whole lot. Let's see. Yep, here it comes. And I'm just going to set that on the vise so that my close-up, you can see, look at how that's just smashed down and made the indentations, right? And I was able to snap that right off. They're incredible. They really are one of the neatest new technologies to come out in a long time. So, you know, you don't need a whole lot of bite. Now, one last thing I want to show you is that on a good bolt, one that's not damaged, one that's not rounded. Okay, we've all been in a situation where we've looked at a bolt, it's not rounded, but let's say it's super rusty or super corroded, but all the 6 points are there and it looks in pretty decent shape. But as you look at it, you think, man, that might be a problem getting it out. That's when you can preemptively use these socket extractors. Preemptively, I mean, if you think it's going to give you a problem, don't strip it and then grab it. Go ahead and grab it first and bang it down on there. So what I want to show you is that once you remove the bolt, we all know that that forcing rod allows us to go ahead and pull that, you know, we can put it back into the vehicle or the machinery we're working on, tighten it down, just snug as can be, pop it off with the forcing rod and go off about our day. What I want to show you real quick is that the socket extractor, when it bites down onto that socket, when it bites down onto that bolt, on a good one, it doesn't damage the corners. It just makes a really nice little line down each flat. And that's how it grabs in. So later on, if you needed to take that bolt out with regular tools, if you had to go back at it again or somebody else had to go back at it again, you didn't mess that bolt up and you could just use a regular socket to take that off of there. So, you know, they really are super versatile. 100% rounded, take it out, pop it out, put it back in, tighten it down, pop it off the fastener. You know, use them on good bolts if you think it might give you a problem. They just really are super versatile. So we'll go ahead and go back to the Virginia trip, finish watching. There's about 3 minutes left. It was a fun video. I had a great day with Brian and his customers, and we'll see you at the end of the video. Thanks very much.
Have Torx Plus. In fact, I just did a video of a torque wrench with a torque wrench and a Ford bed bolt, a T50. And I took the torque wrench and a standard conventional one and I stripped it. And I put it in a bench vise and I cranked it until it stripped. I got to 126 foot-pounds before it rounded over. I put another brand new bolt in and got my RBRT one. I got to over 104 and my torque wrench zeroed out because it was only a 3/8, right? It could have gone much higher. So it prevents you from stripping them. And then I put that T50 into the one I stripped and I tightened 40 foot-pounds, man. I got 40 before it started to round over on the stripped one. Yeah, so I mean, truly is another level.
The size of these I would never need, but if I would have to use it, I would need it.
Well, pick them up today, there's a deal. Get them right now, you get a deal.
Maybe so, maybe so.
Yep. Go ask her how much and I'll bet you she'll hook you up because that's the whole point of the show.
Oh yeah, Amanda loves me anyway.
Right, there you go. Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, that was fun. It was a great day with Brian's customers. We had a really fun time. Always love demoing the RBRT products. So do me a favor, if you like the video, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and smash that bell so you can see when the next new RBRT Guy video comes at you. I'm Dan, the RBRT Guy. We'll see you next time. Thanks very much.